Hey everyone, it's My Hero Macadamia, but you can call me Mac. I'm a Strive enthusiast who's been playing since Season 1, bounced around with some of the characters, and picked up Chipp in Season 4 when I saw Tightrope. Before the ranked update, I made top 50 Chipps on Rating Update, and I wanted to share what I learned through my rank grind. This video is going to cover setups and mix-ups you can use versus your opponent after a hard knockdown with sweep. I want to go over the risks and the benefits of each setup, so I'm going to be limiting the scope of this video to just mid-screen knockdowns without Tightrope preset. Starting off, we have a safe jump setup most of you are already familiar with. An OTG close slash into an IED JH. If you use FD, you can also do a JD or a JS, and all of these will safe jump. You can beat 6P, a MASH, or DP. Alternatively, if you delay the FD input, you will cross the opponent up. And while this doesn't safe jump, it allows you to avoid most DPs and get a pretty big punish. With the same timing, you should be able to make 6 Ps with, though it's not going to be a counter hit, so be sure to adjust your combo accordingly. Without Tightrope setup, your reward on regular or counter hit isn't great. And unless you're close to the wall, you aren't going to be able to wall break your opponent unless you spend a little bit of resource. Overall, I think this is a great setup for new Chipp players, giving them something stable to fall back on if they just need a same side safe jump or a cross up. As for the downsides, it doesn't set up Tightrope, the reward isn't very high, and the cross up might take some time to get used to. Next, we have what is probably the most important mix-up for you all to learn and master. This simple-looking setup is deceptively difficult, as you need to adjust the manual delay of the Tightrope, depending on what option you're going for and the spacing of the opponent. The reward is well worth the effort, though, as you get a left-right overhead safe jump that will almost always wall break because you set up Tightrope in the process. And if you successfully bait a DP or score a counter hit, that reward just gets higher. Not to mention the fact that you build at least 50 bar of meter just from the combo itself, most of the time. Which means at the end of these combos, you almost always have the option to wall break with your super, and get to extend your pressure after the wall break. Part of what makes this possible is good routing using card cancels. Whenever you land a wall stick on the opponent, you have an opportunity to do a card cancel super. This will build you just a little extra meter, and sometimes is the difference between you getting that super or not. Overall, I think this is the most important setup that you have to learn on Chipp, so practice until you can get it as consistent as possible. And that way, you can even throw in mix-ups when you get your opponent to respect them. The Lazy Man provides you with another way of getting a left-right safe jump. It's easier on the execution because there's no need to delay the Tightrope, and the reward is exactly the same. While it's easier than the previous setup, it does have its downsides. At further ranges, the setup becomes more fake, gradually losing its ability to safe jump, unless you compensate by adjusting the timing of your dismount. But this only salvages one side of the left-right. You can also incorporate up and down inputs while on the Tightrope to razzle-dazzle your opponents, but this does actually mess with the timing of the setup, making one of the sides fake. All Reliable is an auto-timed safe jump setup. It is very similar to the classic, but it forgoes the OTG close slash in favor of setting up Tightrope. Just like the classic, a delayed FD input will allow you to cross the opponent up, but this is not a safe jump. On top of that, the cross-up is spacing dependent, requiring you to adjust your setup if you are too close or too far. If you are too far, you need to run forward a bit before dismounting off the Tightrope, and if you are too close, you need to delay the timing of setting up Tightrope slightly. Overall, this setup gives Chipp an easy way to get a safe jump while setting up Tightrope. And while the cross-up option might be more effort than it's worth, if you use the same side setup enough times, you will condition your opponent to recognize that back and forth motion of the setup and assume that a same side safe jump is coming. Up high is a low-risk, low-reward setup that acts as a throw bait while also punishing most reversal and mash options. While the reward is usually low, it leads to a great situation on hit, and against most DPs leads to a wall break or safe jump if you can convert correctly. If the setup is done as fast as possible, your opponent will turn around and be able to mash out more easily, so be sure to add a little delay. Another option is to fake the setup by alpha blading onto the top of the tightrope and dismounting back. This option still allows for punishes on throws and DPs, and even though it gives a passive opponent a window to escape, few take it. The real reward of this setup is this situation after alpha blade hits. Off this soft knockdown, we can get a same side safe jump with JH. Using the tightrope as a visual cue, time your air dash when Chipp's belt crosses the tightrope. We can also get a cross-up safe jump using FD and JS. This time, air dash when Chipp's knees pass the tightrope. We can also abandon our safe jump and just run tightrope pressure. Once on tightrope, close slash into 6H is a devastating frame trap that leads to tons of damage, and it has the added benefit of looking like you're about to cross your opponent up, causing them to swap their guard. Another option you have here is to threaten a cross-up with Alpha Blade. This will beat reversals and 6P, and it will convert into a wall break or a safe jump. For timing, start your air dash when Chipp's knees pass the tightrope, then Alpha Blade as quickly as possible. During the Alpha Blade, you can instead remount the tightrope and get a same side close slash, effectively making the situation a left-right. On the weaker side of your options, you can Alpha Blade off the top of the tightrope for a JS that doesn't safe jump. You can immediately 6H off the bottom of the tightrope for a consistent meaty that beats everything except invincible reversals. You could also give the Joestar family's secret technique a try and just run past your opponent. You can try to represent a low with an instant air dash into a 2K, but even when this is done as fast as possible, it's throw punishable. You can hard call out the opponent's throw mash by doing this. Overall, this setup gives Chipp players a way to deviate from a regular pressure sequence and add to the opponent's mental stack. While it is low risk, it is definitely not risk free. Delayed 5P mash on wake up can still shut this setup down. Down low is a risky setup that beats almost every mash option, delayed or not. It consistently leads to a wall break or safe jump even on regular hit, but is punishable at -6 on block. It's also possible to be thrown out of this setup, but with the right timing and spacing, throws can be punished too. Sneak attack is similar to up high, but has you cross the opponent up before alpha blading back. It's only possible from a close hitting sweep, and even then the alpha blade will lose to 4 frame 5Ps and delayed mash. Instead of using Alpha Blade, you can 2K or 2D to loop knockdowns, with 2D providing a large combo on counter hit. Overall, while this setup is faker than up high, not many people will be prepared to deal with it. Once you're comfortable mixing these layers, it can be better to start looping knockdowns instead of converting into a wall break. While you don't get positive bonus, you can keep them in the blender until you can kill them with the next combo. part 2 of the guide is going to focus on these looping knockdowns, exploring mix-ups that are only possible with Tightrope already set up. I hope you all enjoyed, and as always, go be a ninja.